Good evening, Hyperspinners. Today we're going to be talking through adding sounds to your systems, so get ready. First things first, what you're going to do is go to the Hyperspin-Adding website, and you'll go to the link in the description below, and here we've got sound packs. So what these sound packs are is essentially when you enter a wheel, you might have a startup sound that you're used to hearing when you would turn on your system. You could add that sound, or if you're in the system wheel and you're clicking through your games, you could have various sound effects. And also finally, within system themes, you can add background music for that theme that really gives an additional pop. And you know, in terms of examples here, YouTube doesn't particularly like sounds being recorded here, so I'm going to just leave you to the link here, and you'll be able to find these sound effects. You might have to go hunting for MP3s or rip the sounds themselves and make a compilation. So in today's tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you'll do is you'll download the system that you're wanting in the pack that you're after. So you could, select this Atari 2600 sound pack if you wanted to, and you would essentially just extract that in your Atari 2600 sound folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Hyperspin folder here and get you to the proper destination. So under Hyperspin, Media, and then the system that you're after, and then go to Sounds. This is going to be where you drop all those files here. So under background music, like I said before, this gives an extra pop to your themes. And what you'll want to do is just name the file the same as what your game name is. And it's got to be an MP3, and you'll just drop that in there. So whenever you scroll over to a game that has a theme, it will then play this background music along with the theme. It makes it really nice. Next, we've got system exit. So if you were to enter the NES wheel and then exit the NES wheel to get back to your main menu, it will essentially play that sound at the exit of that wheel. For your system startup, so kind of think of when you turned on the PlayStation 2, you heard that sort of chime, basically when you started the system. So same thing goes here. When you are entering a system wheel, it will play a little jingle, and these sound clips are only a few seconds long. It's just to kind of enrich the experience. So what you'll do is you'll name the system name for this file for your system start folder, and then that's it. So we're going to move along here. And then we've got wheel sounds. So as you're in a system wheel and you're scrolling through all your games, you might notice a barrage of sound effects right now as your default Hyperspin setup. Let's get ready. I mean, that comes to mind. I hear Hadouken, stuff like that. So if you wanted to customize that outside of the default, then all you've got to do is add your wheel sounds. So there are packs on the Hyperspin website, and all you've got to do is unzip them. And you might want to double check the file structure here. Basically what you want is the system, like basically an abbreviation and then a number. It essentially, when you're going through the system wheel, it will randomly play one of these sound effects that are only a second or two long. So you'll need to make sure a number is in there, and you'll just keep naming them off until you're done. And yeah, so as long as there's no gaps in between the file names, it will randomly play a sound for you. So that is how to add sounds to your system. I believe under the Hyperspin FTP there is a hyperaudio I guess folder with all of these files available to you. I'll try to find that direct path and I'll drop it in the description below. But I don't want to spend too much time, you know, wasting your guys' time. I already do enough of that, I feel like. So, but you guys say it's helping, so I do appreciate, you know, all the feedback that these tutorials are bringing. And yeah, so if that's adding your sounds, I will find that hyper audio folder for you guys. It will kind of speed things up along here. Something I also want to kind of look through here is the front end here. If you wanted to change the default sounds, what you could do is go to Hyperspin Media and then front end. Same gig here. If you go to sounds, there are your sounds of jumping in and out of you know, your system. And yeah, so that's it, guys. You can also customize your main menu sounds, and same sort of gig. This is going to be where you've got the barrage of different sound effects that you're used to hearing, the Hadouken and you know, let's get ready. So they stole my tagline, or maybe I stole theirs, I don't know. So you can see the same structure here, guys. It's got the name GS, whatever that stands for, and the numbers 1 through, it looks like 322. The more sound files that you have, the, you know, obviously the more random it sounds, keeps things fresh. So that's all I had to share with you guys today. Adding sounds to your system, it's adds a whole nother level to your system. So enjoy, and we'll catch you next time.